I love ours. They're so cute.
Me and Allison Tomei are hosting a VA home buyers class, which ended up happening this year instead of being on base, but we've gotten, this is our first class that we're trying to do. We actually have probably about like over 10 people now signed up for it. So.
Awesome.
That's
huge.
huge.
Yes, congrats. Yeah, guys, and feel free to use this space. If you have events or seminars or anything that you want to hold, let us know and we'll get this place booked for you. Yeah, keep your expenses low. What else?
Just remember to book it through us though.
Yeah, book it
Yes,
through us. Let us know.
This was an emergency
Last
minute
minute.
cancellation on their part.
So
Yeah.
we learned that you cannot hold classes on base
Yes, yeah.
unless you're a base approved
Yeah, which is
instructor.
very difficult to just, you know, to go through all like the higher up people, so it's easier to just do it here.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, what else? Let's brag, guys.
Brooke and I got a listing signed. Live in the next 10 minutes.
Yes. Okay, tell us about it. When we do want to need.
It's in North.
When we do want to need. I'll put it right down. Let's do two more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. Two more bragging stuff. I'll brag about our coaching crew. We've got the Summer Sizzle 1000 going on today.
56 contacts today so far, not counting Luke and Renee's, because they were in the room, but 56 contacts in this room, 1 appointment set, 2 nurturers. Amber got a referral for a North Carolina agent.
Yeah.
So
Sweet.
yeah,
Yeah.
we did this morning.
So, and I love the way that Allison has it structured. She's got a theme kind of for every every half hour where we're brainstorming different ways to lead generate for that half hour. So like the first thing this morning was to send Facebook messages to your people, and she gave you scripts on how to do that. So if you guys have time today, come in, make some calls, make some contacts, and we have numbers ready to go if you guys want to make calls. Anything else that you want to share?
I mean, it's just how to build a business, and I think this is a great time to take an opportunity to practice instead of different lead generation strategies. So we've done like social media posts for sell by owners, circle dialing, database calling, expired notice defaults. And we have some additional ones coming up in the afternoon session after TV till 4.
Yeah, it's awesome. Lots of good energy. And I love that we're able to just like share and collaborate and do this together and hold each other accountable. Like we're learning together. We're setting ourselves up for good performance. So good job, you guys. Any other, were you gonna brag?
I signed 3 buyers in the last week.
Heck yes, you did, girl. Yeah, that's awesome. So the market is moving. People are buying houses. Love it. Okay, anything else you guys want to share? Okay, let's do wants and needs.
Wes?
Yeah, Wes first. Yes.
I don't want to talk now.
My favorite Wes, come on.
It's Westbrook, so, and, we just signed a listing, it'll be in North Ogden. And, the price will be between $415 and $425.
Anything else you want to add about it?
Bedrooms.
Style.
Yeah,
It's an entry home. It's got 6 rooms, 3 bathrooms, 2-car carport, nice deck off back. Good community.
New carpet.
Awesome, that's a good price point.
I
Who else?
someone to buy my North Salt Lake. It's a twin home. It's at 600, 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, unfinished basement. The basement plumbed for a second kitchen and another bathroom. But because of the HOA, you could rent it out separately. Like you could have family living down there and pay rent, but you can't use that as a rental. But if you wanted to use the whole unit as a rental, you could do that.
Okay. What else that should line the but like 600?
5 bed, 3 bath, yeah. It's not, it's only half of the twin home, but.
Oh. Did you have something?
I have a really unique one. It's not gonna be made public to the market until mid-September or October. But it can be exclusive here in the office. It's about almost 4,000 square feet, 5 bedrooms, 3 baths in Far West. And it's on an acre of land. You can have horses. It does have one outbuilding, 3-car RV parking. Should just be right under 800. It is flawless, not anything left to do, and the neighborhood is really beautiful.
Right ports on there, so everyone knows.
Yeah,
Horse.
1 acre.
Buy it for your daughter for winning the rodeo.
Right, yeah, let me get right on it. Close to home too, so.
Is ready to control it.
Brenda Detroit.
Massive, awesome garage, shops, buildings, horse buildings, garage, shop buildings, and a pool and a massively upgraded house in only 7.
Where at?
Hooper, honey, I have to, baby. You're sizzling.
Where is it?
Hooper. Hooper.
Hooper.
Upper, if you're from Utah.
Hooper.
Upper.
I have one that, they're really wanting to find someone that's like going to be long pension. So if you have something you can find, or you can do FHA, but they need to release the eligibility. 2.3% rate. But there's about 150K on the, equity side of the DT. So if you guys have anyone, it's like in great location, 5 beds, 2 bath rambler, semi-updated.
do you know how long the process could be?
So, 60 days.
So 45 to 60 is what they're.
I'm doing one right now.
Yeah. We spoke with them, they said 45 to 60, I would err on the 60 plus side, just, but.
So I think another thing, I have an assumption, it took 45 days, that because the people who were selling it was using the same mortgage company to purchase, so they had to get this one done to get the next one, really,
Motivation.
there was a little more motivation, so keep that in mind.
I'm not gonna ask them if they can finance the difference. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Pleasant View Meadows, Pleasant View at the barn, right on the golf course. Really nice unit right on the golf course and 550. Like almost 3,000 square feet. It's taking a lot. To be done. Okay. Rhonda?
We have, I think they'll be live tomorrow, one in Hooper, the horse property as well. And it also has a mother-in-law apartment in the basement that was, so that it's nice. I think it's just under 2 acres. That one's gonna be right around 700. And then we have one in Honeyville coming up. It's just 2 bed, 1 bath, 258. And also in the Honeyville area, it was a dairy farm. There's over 100 acres and that one will be right at 2 million. I think by tomorrow as well.
Does Honeyville right?
Yeah, it's up there. I don't know if the address is exactly Honeyville, but that area.
2.5.
Two, and it's a little over 100 acres and they've got a lot of watersheds, so that's really what value too.
Awesome. Yes, sir.
Super sweet mobile home. But, we just made a price reduction to 99,000. So we need to close this one to close on the new construction, which is the month. So under 100 is in the Midlands community, and motivated. Sean and talk about what they work with, but it's a fair property, I think, for what it is. Or something that they, plant renting, can't quite afford the property, they want to see family. Sometimes almost makes sense for that. Way to bridge gap.
The new affordable housing.
Yeah, sure.
I love the hate them. Love it.
Yes.
Fire broker. They have like, that home is definitely worth it, it's beautiful, it's got a lot of, it's about a half acre. It's beautiful view. And it's listed right now 1.85. So compared to others up there. Like, yeah, negotiable. I've got one in North Ogden that just came back on the market. Active TV 25. Really dark. Got about 4,000 square feet. Really awesome views and a cul-de-sac. And then one in Hannaford. We just reduced that price to $835.
Tell more about that one. 835?
4,000 square feet as well, 5 bedrooms. On a half acre. Big, huge.
I can stop rocking. Anybody else? Any buyer needs, seller needs? I had an idea, while I'm taking a picture that's reminding me. Would it be helpful if like every week we did like a team meeting recap, we could send out slides or whatever that we're talking about, but part of that is to send you this like typed out, so you have everything in email. Okay, because we're recording all of our team meetings now, so that could be part of the follow-up, is sending you the recording link with whatever we talk about. Okay, we'll start doing that today. Okay.
I can send you my buyer needs.
Yes, yeah, or even like I even thought about creating like a Google form where as things come up, as you guys need things, we could just have like a live document, like a live spreadsheet that you can always refer back to. I don't know what you guys thought on that. Is that something that you would use? Okay, great. Okay, sweet, yeah.
Well, just putting it on social media on the webpage for Instagram. So we can refer back to that.
Oh, yeah, I can put it on our Facebook group. I can do that. Okay, sweet, I'll work on that. And then, Lindsay Bagby, she wasn't able to make it today, but she has 2 that came back on the market she wanted me to talk about. One that she's got listed at 485, it's in North Ogden. 2,400 square feet, 6 beds, 2 baths. It's on a little over a 1/4 acre, 100% finished basement. It's back on the market, the sale failed because of financing. Has new carpet, appliances, gas fireplace, oversized master bedroom. And then the other one is 499.9 in Syracuse. 1,600 square feet, 1,655, 3 beds, 2.5 baths. Newer, built in 2021, 0.17 acres, 3-car garage. Seller's willing to cover 5,000 in closing costs with a full price offer. Check those out. Okay, anything else? Good to go? Okay, well, let's get rocking. So just to give you guys a little bit of a schedule for today, we've got a few announcements that we're gonna go through, take a little bit of time doing that. And then we've got our awards for last month. Our agents are killing it, you guys. I'm so proud of you all. And then I've asked some of our agents who went to Mega Camp with us to come back, and we're gonna bring Mega Camp to you. They're gonna share their main takeaways, their best practices that they've learned. So if you had FOMO, it's okay, we'll see you next year. But we have some good panelists, so we're super excited to have them today. Remember, especially today with our summer sizzle, make sure that your calls and your lead generation is TCPA compliant. Guys, big news. Woo! Did you guys see my post on Facebook yesterday? I was so excited. So I wanted to just give you guys a lowdown on how this works and how it's really setting us apart from anybody else. So K-Score is our real estate school that we have partnered with. So we partnered with a school called Kaplan. And Kaplan's actually been around for a really long time. And this K-Score program has been established in other states outside of Utah for a couple of years now. So they've already worked out the kinks, they already know what works, they've already, figured out the curriculum and everything. So I feel like we kind of get spoiled being in Utah because they've already figured out the kinks and now we just get to kind of plug in. So with K-Score, how, the process works is we kind of have like a two-part, process to this. So we have K-Score, which is the actual real estate, the pre-licensing course itself. And then coupled with that, we've got a program called KW Prep that you'll get familiar with. And if you guys want access to KW Prep, I can give that to you too to check it out. But I think we all know as you go through real estate school, it doesn't teach you the first thing about how to be an agent. You don't know how to be a business owner. It doesn't get you in that mindset. You don't know where you're gonna get your business from. So that's where KW Prep comes in. So KW Prep, it's a 16 module course that Keller Williams has created. It's totally free, but it's going through 16 modules of the best practices of being a realtor. So the way that we do it is KW Prep coincides with K-Score. So by the time that they get done with real estate school, we're really helping set them up for success, and they have that business mindset as they're getting going, so they know what they're getting themselves into. So we're super excited. Like I said, if you guys want to check out KW Prep, I can send you a link for it. You can watch those modules if you want to. But if you know anybody who's interested in getting their license, send them to me. And I've got a quick 15-minute Zoom kind of pre-screening interview that I'll do with them, get them approved for the scholarship and get them in there. So I think that this is a huge opportunity for you guys as well to start building your downline. And with Command, we track all the referrals. So you'll know where everybody's at throughout the licensing process, which is awesome. But make sure that you use the verbiage scholarship. That's kind of like what we like to use, even though we have a limited free, discounts that we can give to people. But I want to use this as an excuse for you guys to have bragging rights. Say, hey, I can hook you up with a scholarship, or I have a few scholarships if you're interested in getting licensed, and then we can get you some more profit.
I have a question. When we bring someone in, what is the expectation of who you're looking for when you do this interview? Like, are you expecting producing agents, or what's the goal of that?
Yeah, that's a good question. And I think that's one thing that's so great about our Keller Williams ecosystem is because of our size and our training and our leverage that we have, we can take the whole spectrum. So I've hired an agent that said they wanted just extra Disneyland money, and that's great. But then, we also have agents that are closing hundreds of deals in a year. So it's totally up to you and what you want to do. However, for me, we don't want to just be giving out free real estate school to everybody, because I think when it discounts it, and I don't think that necessarily they're going to have skin in the game, right? So their ticket into getting K-Score is they have to complete a few of the KW Prep modules first. So that's going to tell us whether they're serious or not, and we can kind of gauge that based off of whether they're doing it or not. So that's kind of the process, but I'll go through that when they get started and set their expectations clear. That's a good question. Thank you. Yeah. You guys have it? Yeah.
Is it also, I know the target is for the newest agent, that since it actually partners with, did you say Cambridge?
Kaplan?
Kaplan, since it partners with them, are we able to take CE classes through there as well?
So we will, and the reason why Utah's been a little bit late to the game is because there's some licensing laws that Kaplan had to work with Utah to get here. So we wanted to get the pre-licensing stuff figured out first, and now they will be offering eventually CE classes and additional courses along those lines. However, we don't have them yet. So as we're rolling it out, I'll let you know. But like I said, that's what's cool is we're just kind of plugging into a program that's already established. We're not figuring it out as we go. So we're getting tons of really great feedback. And this office, we've probably enrolled at least about 10 people so far within the last few weeks. So
Before it was even announced.
Yeah. So yeah, there's designs in Command if you want to use K-Score as a excuse for you to post on social media. It's all already on there. But yeah, let's get your people rocking. Okay. Any other questions on K-Score? So exciting. Okay, cool. Okay, broker moment. Amazing brokers. Get on up here. Let's do it. Great.
Let's go first.
I'll
go first. Yeah, just real quick, I want to talk about house showing etiquette. How many of you have had an agent show your house and you've been unhappy with how they've shown your house? Yeah, it's really getting to be a problem. There's been several ethics violations against agents that have been filed in the last couple of months. It's gotten that bad. And it is an ethics violation to treat someone else's house with not care. And so you do run the risk of having an agent file an ethics violation against you if things have run amok during your showing. So, just, it kind of follows the golden rule, right? Do unto somebody's house the way you'd want it done unto yours. And, if they ask you to wear booties, wear booties. You should prep your client, hey, on days that we go out and look at houses, probably a good idea to take shoes that are gonna be slip-on, slip-off shoes, so you don't have to keep, lacing your shoes and tying your shoes every time we come and go from a house. So be a little proactive with prepping your client. Hey, typically we don't use the restrooms in houses that we're shown. So make sure that with the kids and stuff, that you kind of time in between stops, potty breaks and stuff like that, because.
Yeah, leave the kids out.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that way they can focus better on the real estate,
Yeah.
right? Instead of what they're breaking in the
Then
house.
we become the babies.
Yeah. Losing the keys, turning lights off. There was a situation a few weeks ago where someone's client turned the pot filler on the stove on and didn't turn it off all the way. And the seller came home at 5 o'clock to a flooded house. And the client didn't tell the agent that they had messed with it. But 65% of the time, when you're in a house, you're being what? You're being watched and you're being listened to. So the agent denied it, the client denied it, but there was video evidence that it happened. So yeah, just kind of keep an eye on your clients, be aware that you are being listened to and you're being watched from the porch clear throughout the house. So don't talk about pricing and different things in the house.
It's a condition.
Yeah. Yeah, don't badmouth the house, because if they end up writing an offer, and your client and you guys have badmouthed the house, how willing is the seller gonna be to work with you? So just be mindful of that, have your conversations about the house out in the street, away from the house, so the Ring doorbell doesn't pick you up or whatever, and definitely don't have them inside the house. So just be sensitive to that about, showing etiquette.
Couple things to tag on to that, I think, just as you schedule showings, I think I talked to Kaylee about this, it's a little bit of an art, right? Like, if you have a client, you're gonna show 5 or 6 houses. Like, how do you stack your route and everything else makes sense? It's good to, I think, add a little bathroom, a 20-minute gap in between your showings to find that, add a stop and make it a Maverick or something and just leave some leeway or time in there to talk about it, so that they can take a quick break. The other thing, this just happened to me last week, actually, so I had my wonderful mobile. This guy called, he's like, we're legit in the neighborhood, is there any chance we could see it? I called the seller, they were like, there's no way, like, it's wrecked, left the house to work with, it in shambles. And I happened to be nearby, and this agent was like, just beating down the door to get in it. So I called the seller, if I just went and kind of swept stuff aside and picked it up, would you be okay? So they did, so I went above and beyond for that's fine. To get the guy in.
They know people.
Super cute.
Yeah, they don't. But in my conversation with the agent was like, absolutely, we can make it happen. Really appreciating feedback, and for sure, absolutely.
You say the conditions well.
No, he
What
just
is it?
legit didn't even, he just ghosted me straight up. Like, I've texted 5 times, called him like 3 or 4 times. Not even just like feedback. To me, it's just, not a moral or ethical issue. Like, I can't file a complaint on the guy. So just, when you make relationships with agents, providing quick feedback, even if it's like, hey, they didn't love the house because of the location, that's fine. Whatever it is, I think it's worth doing. So anyway, so on showings, that's probably my only thing.
Nothing else on showings. I got some great stories about using the bathroom in places.
I actually have one more showing story I'll tell real quick. A client of mine, this was probably 5 or 6 years ago. They had brought their kid as well, and the kid sat at the countertop and was just sitting kicking the back of the counter at the back of the thing and kicked a hole in it. And same thing, they had video evidence. Client and seller, or client and buyer agent completely denied. No, we didn't even. Kids didn't even sit down and okay, how did this happen? So they would replace the thing, and so leaving the kids at home, like you said, it's really best. The focus is all over the place versus on the house. They're trying to tend to the kids. So that, and again, not a compliance or legal issue or anything, but just I'm on a lot of BPO order lists, and I'm seeing more of those every week. So I see 2 or 3 a week. Request to go do BPO broker price opinions. So a lot of them are just notice of defaults that are getting issued and they're starting the initial process of what foreclosure may look like on those houses, but you're likely gonna see your buyers asking for, the notice of default list they hit like Zillow, which shows like pre-foreclosure, so they may start sending you more, hey, I wanna see this pre-foreclosure house that's on Zillow. And it's probably not even available at all, it's literally they missed 2 payments, they filed a notice of default and it shows up on Zillow as pre-foreclosure. Just good to understand and familiarize yourself with how the foreclosure process works, and that's it, I just consistently get buyers, not in this market, but in the market has a lot of foreclosures asking about pre-foreclosures they see on Zillow, other sites, and most of the time they're not even actually foreclosed or even for sale or anything else, so just be mindful that you could spend a lot of time trying to dig into the property, it's not even there, but it's really there for sale.
Okay. I'm gonna talk about something completely different. I'm gonna change gears a little bit. I wanna talk about getting involved with the association. We have a UAR convention coming up this next week. We have 2 candidates that are from within not just KW, but within our own doors. Christy is one of them, right? And then Russ is the other one. So I want you guys.
I love it. You got Christy and Rusty Hill.
So I want you guys to get involved. We have Catherine Graham. I don't see her in the room. She's on the education committee. Lene's been a board of director in the past. Same with Luke. I'm a past president. Fabian is a board of director. We have a pretty big presence within the organization. However, when I was on the nominating committee this 2 weeks ago or whatever it was, and going through there, you would be surprised how many people in that room, and I'm not gonna say who was in the room, but how many people in the room, they're not like anti-KW, but they're like, no, we gotta get so-and-so in there because we like them, right? And some of these people that they were throwing as candidates don't even have any experience in any sort of leadership roles. They're not even what I would consider, some of them weren't even great agents. They were just liked. They were a friend of theirs that was in the room to nominate them. So when you go to vote, I believe you're gonna be allowed, it's gonna be through the MLS. When does voting start? September 5th. So you guys, we're gonna talk about this again. But when you go to vote, you're gonna be able to vote for 4. If you vote only for 2, and those particular 2, it takes away votes from anybody else. So, just saying.
If you go to all 4 separate.
You want to bring your
It's not really bringing, it's being strategic. Yeah. It's within the guidelines. But in time, we're gonna have these 2 come up and ask for their vote, but I'm gonna make videos for both of them, giving them my support. And not that just one guy means anything, but for those of you who don't know my past, I used to wear a suit every single day, right? Isn't that crazy? I'm a past president. I'm a UAR past executive committee at UAR. I was the RPAC trustee for the state. I was the MLS board of director for years. Yeah, I've been through all of it. Okay. And I know that these guys are working hard to make our association better. And there's days where as a past president, I was back going, what are they doing? Now, how did we get there? So I even have tons of conversations with people saying, asking for direction or offering direction, but they don't always want to hear from old people. But these guys are doing a great job. So I want you guys to support them, and I want you guys to go get on a committee. And if you haven't thought about going to UAR, this is next week, you get all your CE done. You're going, right? You're not going? Who's going? Oh, wow. 2 of us.
Rusty's going.
Rusty's going. Yeah.
Hey, Sean.
Enough about that.
Hey, I will be there, but FYI, registration is closed. So if you didn't register, put it on your radar for next year.
Okay, pumpkin patch party is, he's not here, okay, so who is everybody participating, who is participating?
Is or is it?
Is,
Yes.
okay, anybody not know what it is? Okay, so this is, I think, a huge opportunity to get back in connection and contact with your clients. We are coordinating the event for you. You can invite all of your people. It's $6 per wristband. But even just the contact in itself to say, hey, how are you doing? Like, I was thinking about you, you popped into my head. Oh, by the way, I'm having a big client appreciation party or pumpkin patch and I want you to come. So whether people show up to the event or not, you know, it's the contact in itself and re-engaging with those relationships. It's gonna be October 4th from 5 to 8. And we have actually, I've asked Kylie to hop online. Kylie, are you here?
Yes.
He's talking. You can't hear volume. Are you there, Kylie?
I'm here.
Volume on the TV, not on the-
Oh. Oh, please. How about now?
Yes, hello?
Hello, hi. Okay, so to make this easier for you guys, we have actually built out a smart plan in Command for you to advertise to your clients for this, so you don't even have to worry about it. The follow-up doesn't get fallen through the cracks, it's just set up and ready to go. So thank you, Kylie, for doing that. But I'm gonna have her quickly show you how you can go into Command and activate this now, so you can start getting the marketing out to your people. You got it, Kylie?
Yep. Should be, let's see.
Sweet, okay.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, so in Command, obviously you're just gonna go into your smart plan. So I'm gonna come into here, click the smart plan. Then up here on the top, I'm gonna go to library. And I'm actually going to search by author name. And I'm gonna type in my name. And the one we're looking for is going to be the 2023 KW Success Pumpkin Patch. You can see it's got 13 steps. It's a duration of 39 days and it has 7 touches. I had initially had this set up to start tomorrow, so I'm going to show you how to fix one of the delays so you can start it today or start it tomorrow or whenever you need to start it. So I'm going to click Add a Smart Plan, and it's going to populate this little thing, and we're going to push download. I already have the smart plan in my library, so it's not letting me download it. But once it's downloaded, it will be in this area called My Smart Plans. You can see it right here. And you're going to click the little pencil so that we can edit it. And the first thing that it's going to send is an email, and you can click these 3 dots to preview what the email looks like. It's got the same graphic that we've been using. It has the information, and then I just put to RSVP to your guys' cell phone numbers if you want to do it. If you want to create an Eventbrite, you are more than welcome to come in here, click the 3 dots and edit the design. And then when you edit the design, you can put the link for your Eventbrite. But just because I knew I wasn't going to be there, I didn't set it up for an Eventbrite link this time. I just said RSVP to your cell phone number, and that will auto populate with whatever number you have in your marketing profile for in Command. So the first thing is going to be this email, and then we have a delay to go for 4 days. Since I'm starting it today, I'm starting it a day late. I'm just going to back this out to 3 days so that the rest of everything falls within the right schedule. So then the next thing is it's going to send another email. I'm going to preview the design, just want to look at it. Again, same thing, just a different graphic. We need to have client numbers by September 25th. Then it waits 6 days, and then it prompts you to call the people to invite them to the pumpkin patch. In another week, it will send another email. Another 4 days, it will ask you to text them. So I put in here, if they have not confirmed, there's a text template you can use. If they have confirmed, what you can say, and if they can't make it, what you can say there. Then in another week, one more email that goes out. And then 10 days, there is just a follow-up message that happens after the event for people who were not able to attend the pumpkin patch so that you can reach out to them. So that is all the steps of it. So after you make any edits that you want, again, I have it set up so editing it is not necessary. But if you wanted to put in an Eventbrite link, you're more than welcome to. And I believe Kenzie sent out an email with a Loom video that I created on how to make an Eventbrite. So if you want that, just shoot me an email and I can send that over to you. Otherwise, Kenzie Phipps has sent that out as well. So I'm going to save that. And now I just want to choose who I want to add to it. So I can either add from here and I can start clicking people individually. If I want to do just tags, like say I just want to do my A clients, or say that the tags that I use are a little bit different than yours. So let's say I only want to invite my Logan agents. So then I can sort by tags and I can just invite those people. So I can play around with tags, or I can put no tags at all and I can just invite everybody that I want to. So I'm going to, I'll just pick on, I think I have Eden in here. So I'm just going to select that I want to put Eden on it. I'm going to add her to that smart plan. Then it's going to say, do I want to start this now? And if I do that, it will send that first email to everybody right away, or I can start it on a following date. And I can pick whichever date it is. Now, remember the way that we have the delays set up, it is currently set up to have been sent out yesterday. However, if you're sending it out today, just make sure you make that edit to one of the delays, just delete a day off. And then if you wanted to start it on a different day, just make sure that you change the delays so that it's correct. And then just confirm, and it is set to go. So now I have one person on this smart plan, and I can, and then it'll start sending out those emails and start giving me tasks as they come in. So that's how you set it up. I'm just going to remove Eden so she doesn't get bugged. But they are right here. And then if you wanted to set up an Eventbrite to do a link that way, you're more than welcome to. Just make sure you're tracking your attendance. And then I think that Kenzie and Steph, they're working on getting sponsorship so that the tickets are less than $6, but that's kind of what we're working on right now. And if you have any questions, just shoot me an email and I'm happy to help. Are there any questions now?
No. Pretty awesome, huh?
We're super short on sponsors too, so if you guys know anybody that would be interested in sponsoring it in any way, shape or form,
Yes, please. That'd be super helpful.
Yeah, we were trying to raise $6,000 and I think we have like 1,500, right? 17,
maybe like 10,000.
Okay, hey guys. Well, this is
Kylie, thank you so much for everything you do.
Yes, thank you, Kylie. Guys, how cool is it that
Happy to-
we have like a full-time in-house tech person, and she's amazing too. But I normally have to call like a 1-800 number or whatever.
And she just had a baby and here she is.
And here she
working.
is. Hey, do you have the baby with you? Can we see the baby?
Let me go grab her.
Okay. Show and tell. Okay, that was my slide deck.
Oh, yeah.
Where did my slides go? Hold, please. I think I lost my slide deck. Nope, okay. Good to go. Okay, sweet. Career Visioning White with Johnny, he's our regional director. It's coming up this Thursday. Career Visioning is typically a course that we fly Keller Williams International instructor in to come and teach. However, we decided to kind of do a more quick and condensed version to give you just like the meat and potatoes of the course. So it's going to be this Thursday at the new Keller Williams Salt Lake office from 10 to 12, and it's free this year, which normally you pay for it. Normally it's like $120 or something like that. But this is going to help you go through the process of how to either hire people or grow a team or understand people's personalities using the KPA as well. So I would say if you are wanting to build a team, if you have a team, or if you just want to get more familiar with how to use the Keller Williams or the KPA process and get more familiar with yourself and how you operate, so we can coach you to your strong suits and weaknesses, then I think this would be great for you to come to. It's in person only. So if you want to sign up, you can register here.
Already did.
You did?
Already did.
I'll be there too. Allison, are you gonna, just gonna be there? Allison's gonna be there. Okay. And then Quantum Leap for adults. Quantum Leap, this is the course that Gary Keller wrote. That's basically just the 4 pillars of building a wealthy life. So it says what you'll learn, who am I and what do I want my life to be about? How will I structure my life to support this vision? What key relationships do I need to support me along the way? And how will I fund my mission so I can make the greatest impact? So it's all about creating a strong foundation in your life, but it goes so much deeper, and like the last half of it is really cool because they talk about wealth building and how to invest your money and the cash flow quadrants and passive income versus active income. Like it's a really high level conversation, and Gary wrote this course himself around what.
This particular one is not free.
This one's free. So I'm glad
okay.
you brought that up. It's so there is an email going out right now. One of them said like, why'd you Quantum Leap this year or something like that? That's from Keller Williams International. They've got 2 Quantum Leaps going on. Yeah. So the emails that you've been receiving have most likely been from international. You need to fly there to go do it, but this is here in person, and this is free. They do ask that you make a small donation if you want to do $5, $10 to Keller Williams Kids Can. It funds educating the children of Keller Williams, like our agents' kids. But if you can make it, I would 100% recommend that you come to this. Everybody has to go to this at least once. I think this is also a great contact to send to your SOI, to your database. Because it's not just real estate specifics. This is how to build a big life and the pillars that it takes to do that. Everybody go on the scan? Okay, cool. Okay, and then September 19th, Keller Williams has released our new Command Paid Ads experience, and it's been in beta test for a while, and now we're launching it to the whole company. So this is gonna make our paid ad experience even better. So Kimber is gonna be here, our regional tech trainer, covering that. So that's gonna be September 19th for a team meeting. If you want to plan on being here for that. This is the certification course that Rich and Jones is teaching. We've been talking about this for a hot minute. Anybody know Rich and anybody wanna give him a plug? I actually used to work with him at my old Keller Williams South Valley office, and he is so sharp. So they're gonna be talking about pricing strategies, mastering the CMA. Let's see, the date is on September 22nd, and early bird through September 6th is 165 for the registration. This is at the Board of Realtors. Okay, sweet. Okay, let's switch gears. Let's go to our awards, guys. Okay, now let's go back here. Okay, so I put up this banner here and I've asked Allison to help me take pictures. So when I call your name, come up, come get your award, and then we'll take a picture, a quick picture of you in front of the banner. What is my phone? Are you gonna get your phone? We can have some music when we do it. Wow. We were playing my music on this house earlier, even with heavier hip hop. Heavier. I don't even know.
Playing in the other room.
Yeah, really loud.
Okay. All right, guys.
That's really
That's good stuff.
Eden,
Yes.
can you change it to speakers back there? Cause it's way loud over there.
Is it way louder over there?
Yeah.
It's in the front.
Oh. I don't know. Here. Allison, you know. In the front.
This one?
Is the one in the front, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's playing up front.
I'm not playing.
Is it turn that speaker off up front? You don't have that, you do it on your phone? Oh, yeah, can you? I learned something new. You can do it on your cell app. Okay, your cappers. Come and get your capper hat. We've got Michelle and Anita, Wade. Get up here. Get up here. Come and take a picture. I guess. Wade Heyman. Alex. Cheryl and Amber Ryan. Yes. Just have Wade and Alex here. Yes. Guys, I'm so proud of you. Look at you go.
There you go, you guys.
Okay, next we have, first listing, and these categories, just so you guys know, these are just the first listing while you're at Keller Williams. It's not necessarily. It's not necessarily just your first listing, okay, so Chase Phelps, I don't think he's here, but he had his first listing, congrats Chase. And then first closing, so, that's Cole Thompson, Cody, Dakota, Jessica Skidmore, where are you? And let's see. Just for urban renewal. You don't want them to- No, I don't. Get in there. And she had her first two cozy. Yeah. Okay, top listed units, so our individuals, we have Diane. Looks like a, what dinner is it? It's like a target. Just dance? Okay, teams, we have Anita and Mish, they're not here, but congrats ladies. Groups, we have the Burner team. Here you go, my dear. Represent the first. On the go, girl. Sweet. What's up, guys? Next we have closed units, individuals, Marcos, Rusty, Diane, Lincoln, and Sherry. Great stuff here. Teams, we have Bagby Real Estate, congratulations, guys. Group, Cat Home Realty, Skyline Fernandez Group, Utah Homes Team, Christina X, the Burner Team, Vivian, and Becky Team. Up there, Miss Fowler. Get up here. Where's their painting? They were here. Are they still making calls? They're still doing the numbers to lower bounds. That's why they're on the board. I know. Got it. Okay, now we got the big boy, let's do it. Okay, $1 million month. These are agents that total between their listings, contracts, closings, had over $1 million of production. Close, so we had Rusty, she's killing it. Diane again. You're your substance today, girl. You guys turn your Apple Watch on. Dane Anderson, Marcos, Lincoln Taylor, Sherry Johnson, Ken Averett, Tanil Ridgway, Mikhail Hell, Cassie and Kevin Ivins. Do a big group photo with all the time. Here you go. 10, 30. Do it into the sign. We celebrate. Awesome. Good job, you guys. What Margaret should? Okay, teams would have, Larson Realty Group, I saw Travis, get up here. And then, Bagley Real Estate and Elevated Real Estate. Anything else there? You want me to make it real? Yeah, it's real. Okay, last but not least, we have our Christina X team, Ben King team, Capstone Realty, Hernandez Group, Skyline, Burner team, Balters Action Team, Olivia. I know you want to punch your Brower, come on. Here you go,
Luke, you
Olivia.
want to come out? You're on your own, maybe you can on his phone, you didn't. Hurry up.
Hold on. Roommate, Burner.
He's like, I'm there.
Next, you guys. Hey, love it. We're gonna have, we now know our next panelist for next time. Okay, Allison. You wanna do a quick? What's up on the team and then move to our panel?
They're both saying.
We, in Coaching, are having a ton of fun. We have 26 of us now. We're doing great. We took one listing in July. We closed over $1 million, or we took one listing in July, closed over $1 million in July with between 2 units. So we're doing really great. So if you want to come see what we're doing, let us know. We also do things with the whole brokerage as a whole, like today, like the summer sizzle, like the conversation mastery. If anybody wants to participate in that, this month, we're gonna dial in on our marketing plans and our listing presentations for the month of September. So let me know.
You're doing amazing. Okay, three of our panelists. Chris Brower, Jenny Erb, Wade Heyman, Wes Beard, and Jessica. Okay. There's one at the table. One under, there's a couple at the table. It's really short. Okay. No, let me just one down the- Okay. Okay, guys, thanks for being here. We have so much fun in Austin. I love
We
Austin.
had to visit the bar first before this, like Austin.
Yeah, right? Except I was like starting to come down with COVID, so I was operating at like maybe 60% when we were there, but we had a really great time. So let's start with Wade. Can we go from Wade down and let's just start with a little bit about you. Talk about how long you've been in the business. Let's talk about your first mega camp, how many mega camps you've been to, and then what your overall impression was of the event.
So my name's Wade Heyman. I've been with Keller Williams for just a little over a year, almost a year and a half, so not too long. I spent most of my life in retail sales. So I worked for Lowe's for the last 15 years. Done everything from like kitchen design to manager position, paint, windows, walls. So most of it was done with merchandising and management. So big change for me, but this was my first mega camp, obviously, and it was pretty awesome. Actually. It was like super overwhelming. I had like a lot of information from folks, like don't get overwhelmed, don't try to do too much, but overall the experience was awesome. And I think the biggest thing for me just kind of solidified that I'm where I need to be. I'm with the company that I'm working with, we share like the same values for like truly like everything about it was inspiring. And you hear all these negative things right now on the news and the media and the market, and like there wasn't any of that there. Like none of the agents were troubled or worried. Like it was all talking about going forward and what's next. So it was awesome.
Okay, so I've been an agent for 12 years. I think I've been at KW for 8 of those now. And I love it. What else was I supposed to answer?
The first mega camp and what our overall impression of the event was.
But I know I went to family reunion before. I'm not sure if I went to mega camp or not, but obviously this was my first one in quite a while. I loved it. It's smaller scale than family reunion. So, everybody goes to the same classes and they're able to sit with, you know, your fellow agents and go for anything. How did you enjoy this? That and, a mega camp is probably my favorite.
I'm Wes Beard. I've been in the business for 2 years. Prior to that, I was a chef and owned a restaurant for 18 years, and I sold it and moved to Utah. This mega camp was my first. I felt like the energy and the whole thing was amazing. Love to go again. I think probably the thing that I learned most from this, and it kept resonating throughout the whole mega camp, is consistency. And being consistent about what you do, your processes, and how you do it. The other thing that I thought was really important was that we all have our calendars and we all fill them up. And if your calendars only has work in it, your life is pretty miserable. And that you have to manage your calendar in such a way that your personal love of what you want to do in your life fits in there too. And when you look at your calendar, you see those time blocking portions there that fit, so that your life is full and that your success is more than just your job.
Will you touch on these
Sure.
papers that we passed out to? What's the idea?
This is a note to your brain. And if you haven't seen it, it's got processes to add and processes to change. And I think that at Mega Camp, there were a lot of things, ways to do open houses that added value, other ways to gain leads that were really important, like doing seminars. There's all kinds of ways that we can develop our process and do it better. And the whole idea behind this is to dial that in and to become the expert of whatever you're going to do, whether that's open houses, whether when you door knock, you want to provide value when you're door knocking, and you give back and you care about who you're doing. It's just not making contacts. So that's what this is about. If you get anything from this, write it down on a piece of paper and please put it into your process. You're welcome.
Chris Brower, coming up on 9 years in the business. This was my first mega camp. I did a family reunion as well this year for the first time. That being said, though, I have done a lot of like Tom Ferry, Mike Ferry, Brian Feeney stuff, and that stuff is all really good. But I think what I appreciate about the Keller Williams stuff even more is it's way less raw, and way more let's get down to the nitty gritty and actually help you make more money.
Okay, so I'm Jessica Oots. I've been in the business for almost 4 years. October 1st, I will have graduated 4 years ago. It's my first mega camp. I'm gonna be like super vulnerable and honest. It was terrifying to me. The city of Austin, when I first got there, was not welcoming. If you ever want to hear it, it was terrifying. I'll never forget my trip to Austin. It was on the airplane, but anyway, it was terrifying. But well, I will be happy to another time, but I can honestly say that I can do hard things. And I went and I learned and I grew from that. My mom called and I'm like, I'm ready to go home Monday night. But it was an opportunity for me to stretch and to learn and to grow. And I was able to do that. I'm grateful for it.
Proud of you. How are you? And you stayed and celebrated your birthday there.
I stayed and celebrated all the way through.
Stay an extra day. Is that worth it? What a fun time.
It was worth it. I slept. And no kids, no husband, no one to bug me, I just slept and. That's it.
I think that's on stage, that's on your video.
What's that?
You danced on stage, right?
I did, yes, I did. So, yes, I did all kinds of things that scared me and I made it through.
Okay, let's start at this end again. Let's say, okay, what was your primary goal into going to the event and, did you accomplish that?
So honestly, my primary goal was to have fun. Over anything. Like, I've learned, like, going through this process, like. You have to love what you do, right? Or it's like, why are you doing it? So like, my first goal honestly was to just go there and have a good time. So obviously I accomplished that, but I wanted to go there, have a good time and to learn as much as I could and then take it back and incorporate it into becoming a better human and a better business person. So, but yes, I did have a good time and I learned a lot.
I think it's always good to like spend time with each other outside of the office too, get to know each other as like a person and an individual and our personalities, and so it was fun to spend more time together outside of the office too.
I just didn't want to go on like convention and like stress about what like I was gonna learn and take away and if I was gonna implement stuff and it's gonna be a waste of money and I'm like, just go have fun, open your mind, keep open, like take what you can and enjoy it.
Jenny, what was your goal?
Okay, so my goal was, you know, because you learn from so many brilliant realtors while you're there. So my goal really was to find different techniques that are already similar to what I'm doing to see what I can improve. Things that I'm already utilizing, and I got a lot of that. I got so many people had things I was trying to implement, they actually had a system. I'm like, oh, that's what it looks like. I've just been kind of fly by the seat of my pants person. And so it was really nice to see that. And also numbers on how things are set up in your business and how much you spend here, here, or here. And, you know, just really honing into what is your best rate of return. So
that is one thing that I love that they did this year different than before is when they did have people go up on stage. They were interviewing somebody about a specific topic or whatever they're doing, right? But then up on the screen, they put a big, huge QR code that you could scan. And then it showed you exactly what their system is, like their business on paper. And that's one thing that I thought was so cool is like you go to these events, whether it's KW or whatever else, like there's all these panelists, all these cool breakout sessions you're going to, there's so much information coming at you. And it's a lot to write down, it's a lot to retain, sometimes you miss things. But the way they did it this year, you have their business plan, you can, you know, write down, you know, your main, you know, whatever that you want to implement on that business plan, then you have it for future reference. So I thought it was a lot more effective and efficient when it comes to.
And they're all accessible too, if you go through Connect, that shows you the day one, all that stuff, but they're all 1-pagers and 2-pagers, and they're like amazing. Super simple processes broken down, like. That was my favorite. Cause you could literally just take everything after you heard their story and like choose to implement what you need, and it's not overcomplicated, it's not, yeah.
And they had production levels all over the place. They had 20 deals a year up to like 500, no, like 1,500 deals a year.
Yes, luxury or average, not average, you know.
Yeah.
You know, there was all over the place, but they had the same result. And that was really neat to see.
Okay.
My goal was to educate myself and become a better agent and bring it back to Utah and implement those things into my life and to make myself more productive and more successful. I think that like you talked about the panels on different subjects, whether it was open house, they went through and there were little things that you could pick out that you could refine and educate yourself on and become better at. I think one of the most important things was to be able to connect with each other. We had some good tequila and that was fun. I think they talked about it at the very beginning, the Mexican food was really good. They talked about hustle and happiness and that many people, most people, determine their happiness based upon circumstances and what's going on around them, whether that is circumstantial. So it means that I'm only happy when I got another deal. I'm only happy when I got a new car. And it was about refining your happiness, what really makes you happy. And I thought that was one of the key things that I got out of that. Be happy, you can choose to be happy. And I think it resonates around us when we're happy, and I think that's a positive thing.
That's the first thing Gary talked about. That's the first thing he referenced stage was hustle versus happier, hustle and happier.
Hustle and happiness,
Yeah. That was really cool. And I think, you know, even touching on how you're talking about the calendar earlier, do you have time in your calendar for what brings you joy? Like just having fun or what makes you happy? Like instead of being so dialed into work, we have to remember to be or have fun while we're doing it and have scheduled time that's intentional on what does bring us kids. Yeah.
One other thing I think that was a big thing was picking your charity. Picking where you're gonna go with it, and like from your listing, whatever your proceeds are from that, donate a certain portion of it to your charity, whatever charity you choose. Create that, give back to the community or whatever you decide that you want to give back to. Make a count, let people know that you care. So.
Okay, Chris.
Yeah, so my goal was there are a lot of big hitters down there, right? And so I had some specific people on my list that I wanted to get some FaceTime with. Didn't get all of them, but got some good ones, and had some additional connections that I wasn't planning on. And actually just this last week, got a referral from one of those face-to-face connections. So
Nice.
yeah, it worked out really good. Learned a lot of great things from those people, and you know, like it's been said, it's nice. We go to a lot of these meetings, we have a lot of Zooms and stuff, but it's nice to just face-to-face connect with somebody on a personal level.
Totally. I mean, I know a couple agents that have built the majority of their business from referral business going, they go to these networking events to make these connections and then build that referral data, like network off of that.
Yeah.
So that's huge, too. The networking is awesome. And I think that's one thing that's so great about the umbrella, like the cast that Cones has. I mean, we're worldwide. So you could build a network anywhere and still get referral income from that too. First, we were talking about that last week. So. Cool. That's good.
I had goals. I had so many goals. Everyone I talk to, make sure you do this, make sure you build your referral network, make sure you go to the class, make this. And I'll be honest, like, again, for me, I showed up. I sat in classes. I did gain a lot of just nuggets here, nuggets there. I think it was Jenny. There was one slide that someone put up who had organized their opportunities in such a way that I'm like, that is the answer to my question. So there was a lot of little things like that that just came about that, like, in the back of my mind, I knew my big questions was leverage. How am I going to leverage? How am I going to do this? And I don't have a full answer yet, but at least there were a few pieces that fell into place.
Okay, cool.
Let's go this way.
Yeah, let's look
So who did I meet and why were they important? I got to meet my mastery coach for the first time in person. And that was actually thrilling because I talk to him once a week on Zoom and I know him on a personal level. And now I get to go and just hug this person who has been cheering me on and been my champion. So yeah, it was really cool. That was the highlight, but I met a lot of other really good people. Lucas Hine, if anybody's interested, there are 2 links where he has interviewed Marcus 2 different times for his podcast. So if you guys ever want that link, I can get that for you.
Lucas Hine. And your business. Hold it. With him.
Well, with me too. With the word,
But it is cool to see how like a relationship like that, it's one key relationship can make such a big difference.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
So who do we meet, right?
Yep. Yeah, who did you meet? Why was it important?
So I had a really cool opportunity to go to a smaller breakout session that had Adam, who owns Libyan, and then also Gary Keller was there. And then also now I'm drawing a blank on guest speaker Phil. That's his last name.
Phil Jones.
Yeah. Right? So it was really cool because there's only like 70 to 80 of us in that room. And so after the breakout, we all got to go up, shake their hands, ask them a couple questions, you know, if we had some. So that was really cool. I was also shocked, like I think Gary's really cool and all right, but I'm like big into sports and stuff, but I couldn't believe they auctioned off a cup signed by Gary and it went for $800.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Really?
That's true, it wasn't. But it was cool to meet them, and again, like, I was surprised, that Adam actually didn't know who I was. I thought he probably had no clue. So that was, I knew who I was, where I was from, what we were doing and stuff, so it was
He's like
nice.
the
He
operator.
started living. So. So that was really cool to get to meet them. Shoulders with them on a more personal level.
I think there's an opportunity to get to know each other better, like Rhonda, for example, Jenny, and learn about their businesses, how they do business. So I think that it was an inner circle connection for me. I didn't really reach out to anybody. I don't have a coach. So other than Allison, and she was right by my side most of the time. So I think that was what I got, and that from them.
That's cool to have.
Yeah.
Jenny?
I kind of stayed with our group, but I did have a really great time, getting to know our local leadership a lot better. It really does, for me, it solidified. I really am exactly where I'm supposed to be. You know, especially right now, you have a lot of different brokerages reaching out to you and, hey, we can give you something better. But honestly, you guys, if you do the math, it's not any different. The success of your business is about who you surround yourself with. So, yeah, that was my whole thing there. I just felt like I really knew that I was in business with some really, really smart and funny people. Yeah, so.
Everyone's like, what are all these facts?
It's a lot. It's experience. Yeah.
So I didn't have really any plans to meet anybody. I didn't want to overcomplicate things and add more into the mix. I'm still trying to focus on me and my processes and the chaos that's starting. But I guess a cheesy answer is would be like, we talked about a lot about like the whole imposter syndrome. I think when you're a newer agent, you go through that whole scenario of like, how do I provide value when talking about like, I feel like an imposter, right? Like, so I think I met myself there as like a professional real estate agent. Like, I realized like, you're not faking it. You can do what you can do. You can provide what you can provide for your clients, and you just got to show up as you. And then the crew, of course, obviously, it was really good to get to know everybody on a little more personal level.
Let yourself out.
The camaraderie that we have within the brokerage is.
We got good people. Funny good people.
Funny good people.
Funny good people. Okay, let's start with the middle inside. Let's start with Wade. What was your biggest takeaway?
West.
Or sorry, West.
What was my biggest?
Biggest takeaway. Let's kind of merge it, like your biggest takeaway and or your biggest aha that you had while you were there.
So hard. You're up.
I think that personally, it goes back to consistency. And I think social media is a good example of what you post and how you post, when you post. All those things are very important. And your whole idea when you post is to motivate, inspire, and educate. When you do that, and then timing and how you process that when you post it, I think is very important. And I think that I can tell that because there are weeks when I don't. And you look at your numbers, how many people have looked at your business page, it goes down for me. And so when I'm posting and I do it on a regular basis and I'm consistent, I see that generation of interest and following and comments, and it helps me to reach out and branch out my business.
Okay.
I forgot the question.
Your biggest
takeaway or it's combining the two.
Yeah, I kind of am. So, one of my biggest ahas, I kind of feel stupid to admit it, but all these years I've heard about, okay, what is the value you bring to your clients? You know, what are your values? And I was thinking like value as in, what can I put on my resume? Your values are what do you value? Honesty, loyalty, authenticity, I can't even say it. But I kind of had an epiphany in my brain that all of those things that you value is really what you bring to the table. So I was able to make that switch in my head and, you know, I guess I just came to realize I don't have to be a scholar. You just have to be really good at what you do, and then what you're not the best at, you have to surround yourself with those people that have those skills. So that you can bring the full gambit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and back to the work, you know, yeah, you can't know everything, but you know somebody who does. Right, yeah. Okay, let's do wait.
I have like so many written down, I'm like, I don't even know what's the main thing. So there was so much good stuff there. I mean, like Phil Jones was amazing, Tim Tebow was awesome. So there was so much to take away. Like, I'm glad I took so many notes I did. I didn't want to bring my iPad here because I'd be like rambling off. Little things would get me going. But for me, and it's kind of resonated over and over. And I think seeing people's one pagers totally like don't overcomplicate things. Like we do that all the time, constantly. We take the most simplest processes, we try to overcomplicate them. Like, don't overcomplicate things. So my big thing was, and it was from Phil Jones, he said, stop comparing yourself to other agents. You can't describe what makes you different. Then why would they pick you? So you should be able to speak to that in detail with passion. So he talked about a pen that he took off stage and was like, how much is a pen? $2.99, right? But if I package it into this mahogany box with linen on the inside and I put it in a glass case, how much is it now? What if I take it to Paris and put it in this with, you have to get so-and-so to let you in and it's behind this, how much is it now? Like the value of that pen went up substantially because of how it was presented and how it was conveyed to the person. Like, so again, getting back to like values, like we always talk about value proposition and all that. And I think that's like, it's like, sounds like a gimmicky thing, right? But like, what are you truly passionate about? What resonates with you? Who do you want to do business with? And like, how do you sell yourself? Like, you should be able to sell yourself over anybody else's process and standards and speak to it in volume and like, let them choose you based off your true value. So that was like the biggest thing.
He was an amazing speaker. If you guys don't know, he wrote the book Exactly What to Say. And they have one that's exactly what to say for real estate agents too. It's so good. And it's a really short read. Really short. Yeah, it's good.
Okay, so I'm combining two together. For me, another plug for my mastery coach, we were able to get a one-on-one mastermind with Jason Abrams the Monday following. So it was just us, our people from my coaching, Lucas's people. And he reminded me, and it finally kind of sunk in, I really only have to be good at one thing. And whatever that one thing is, I need to be excellent at it. So if it's for me being in contact with my people and having events, I need to be the best event planner. And then secondarily, I sell real estate on the side. So to me, that was a huge aha. Like, of course, what's my one thing that I'm doing, right? Keller Williams, what's your one thing? And really dig deep into that. And then to add on to for my aha was when Tim Tebow, he said, you cannot have a comeback without a setback. And if you've been in this business for more than a minute, you've had a setback. So to me, that was extremely powerful. And every day I have to remember sometimes it's a comeback day and some days it's a setback day. It's just as simple as that.
Yeah, absolutely. Chris?
Yeah, so I too, you know, there's all sorts of stuff that I think I could share here. But ultimately, it surprised me how simple real estate actually is. You know, like Gary, I think kept going back to that over and over again. That the simplicity is that the agents that are the most successful are the ones that are looking for the most social contact every day. Whoever can have the most social contact every day, that's who's going to win. And there's so many different ways that we can get business, right? Like there's open houses, there's social media, there's events, there's numerous ways that you can do it. But what you've got to ask yourself is, okay, what can I wake up every morning and be happy to do? And then just do that really well, like Jessica said. So the big question that I wrote down for myself is, what are you willing to do on a day-by-day basis to put myself in a position to have the most conversations every day and be happy while doing it?
I think especially is kind of what
the market and the shifting and like, you know, the navigating or having to do anything, it's a good question to keep in mind. It's forcing people to really evaluate what does make you happy. Yeah.
If you're not happy doing whatever lead gen it is, you're not gonna.
Amen.
Yeah. Okay, sweet, last question, well, what are the top 3 things that you're going to implement in your business from camp? Let's start with Jessica.
I'm digging deeper in my SOI, through social media events, and I've got to find one
There's our social media events and
one more thing. I'll figure it out.
Okay, Brower.
So I know you said 3 things, but mine are more like, when I say scripts, but scripts isn't the right word. Conversations that I want to be having. So the big one is I want to make sure that I'm more curious. I think a lot of times I assume things. Okay, so I want to be more curious with the assumption when I'm having these conversations. And then the other thing that Phil talked about in that meeting I was lucky to go to, he said, selling's earning the right to recommend something. I thought that was interesting. So he said we need to be able to ask the right questions or ask a series of questions to be able to then respond to people because you said blank, blank, and blank, I would recommend you do this. And I thought that was really good. So I was like, okay, I need to get better at my questions. I bought his book for real estate agents as soon as I got back, and it's all it is like 30 different questions that you can have in your back pocket to be asking people. And so that was really good. And then the last thing, I haven't started this yet. I plan on doing it next week, but something I would advise all of you to do, because somebody asked Phil, if you were to try and take a listing tomorrow, what would you do? That, and he said he would take a picture of all his past clients' estimate, screenshot their estimate, text it to him, and just say, what do you think of this?
Interesting. There's an action item today. Okay, love that, thank you. Wes.
I think being better at farming. Farming, know everything about the community where you're at, schools, events, everything. And getting to know the people in there, and so that you develop a relationship with the people within your farm. They talked about having creating an event within your farm, like having a social event where you invite them all to that social event within your farm. So you have an opportunity to get to know them. You have an opportunity to develop more relationships and more contacts in the process, and you know what they want and what they don't want. I also think dialing in on the open house and becoming better at it. Several people that I've been able to get on my list have all come from open houses recently. And in fact, the listing was from an open house that Brooke and I did. And so I think that by using that open house, not only to find buyers, but also to be referred out to other sellers that they want to use. And that was something that they talked about, and I thought that brought that level up. So, and then also, you know, ways of going about what you do to prepare for your open house, whether you circle dial around it, then you knock it, then you prepare everything, you're early, you're set up, you're ready to go, you're professional, you're ready to answer the door when they walk through. So.
Thank you. Jenny?
I think for me, the things I wanted to implement, of course, is some of them. I'm really big on the social media. I enjoy working with people that I already know. So they really did lay out in detail of what your social media should look like. And one of those things that I want to dive into as well is just education. You need to bring value. You don't want to just be in people's faces. That of course they want to know you personally. I think that does help, but you need to bring value through social media as well. So that's my second goal. And then my third goal is, like we all talked about before, and I know it sounds cheesy to just say, hey, find your happy place. But when you saw how many agents were up there, they had something they truly enjoyed. And you can't help, your personal life is going to spill over into real estate, vice versa. So you might as well have fun doing it. So no matter what your niche is, or no matter what your world is that makes you happy, as long as you mix that in somehow, it's gonna bring you business. So if you don't, if you look at this like it's a job and gosh, I need to do this many sales or I'm just not gonna get it, you're gonna be hungry and people can smell that. That, you know, you need to be genuine and you need to, make sure that you, bring value and happiness to, those that are in your world. And business will just come as long as you're having fun. I think that's 100% correct for me at least.
That one team said, we're not a real estate sales team, we're an event company that just happens to sell real estate.
And then there was the same guy or a different person, but the same concept where they were doing their YouTube, that they're like a media company, do they have any?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, wait.
So for me, first thing I'm gonna implement is like my 411, like get back to the basics, get my own plan down, my own stuff that needs to be in line, like my calendar straight, like that's really, regardless of mega camp, like there's so many things I wanna take and grab and like, I need to get the foundation set up again and like truly get on path with my like goals and what needs to happen. So for me, like that has to happen first. Before I do this. The second thing that I do want to is same as what Chris did. They talked about being less efficient with your conversations and more effective. So he did a thing where he walked around and asked people questions and the conversation ended instantly versus like him asking the question differently or them responding differently and opening up this dialogue and conversation. And it's like they talk about how you spend so much time asking all these questions to get to, you're more efficient with your conversation. You can get to the end point a lot quicker than it would take you with all those questions. So just like he mentioned as well, just be relentlessly curious. Stop answering your own questions when you have conversations with people. And just stop counting your conversations and start making conversations count. So be more meaningful with that. And the last is just, I think we'll have to come with time, is just like finding my value or niche or my spot, my happiness to focus on to build everything. So yeah.
Cool. Do you guys have any questions for these guys? Isn't this pretty rad? Like the same event, but so many different experiences. And that's what I love about these. And you get to go with an intention. There's so much information that you most likely are able to at least get guidance on where you want to go get your questions answered. So guys, thank you so much for your time. That was awesome. Okay. We are ready to go. We're just gonna bring up our quick sponsor real quick. Is it JW? JW? Oh, JW Insurance. Do you wanna bring up your person?
Sure. Do you guys wanna get lunch first and then they can eat while we're talking?
What do you think?
It's getting cold.
Maybe.
I think it'll be all right.
Yeah?
You wanna take that quick 2 minutes?
I've been over there.
Okay, quick 2 minutes.